Here I am again sharing another idea, another small action, another something that we can think about as we're making this shift, making a big change that we want to see in our lives. So I've been through a lot of different things, gone over a bunch of stuff. Today I want to talk about community. So we often think, especially with artists, I don't know why it is so much with artists, but we feel like artists and creative folks, like they go into their studios, they lock themselves away, they do their thing, and it's like they kind of revel in their solitude. And I think there's a little bit of truth to that, but also I think that everybody needs some kind of community around them. And especially whenever we're trying to make this shift, we're trying to make a big change in our lives. Without community, we don't have anybody to support us. So when I think about community, I mean, nowadays it's really, I think about this kind of in person, what some people say like in real life kind of thing. But I think in real life happens virtually as well. But I think about like our in person community, so our family, our friends, people that we know that are actually around us, or that maybe we pick up the phone, we call them. Um, these are people that I would say like, oh, you know them personally. You go maybe have a drink with them. Without them, I think it's really difficult to make some kind of shift. If we don't let them know, if we don't have their support, it's so hard because oftentimes those people, our closest family, our closest friends, can be an obstacle to our change because people get used to you being a certain way or doing certain things, and then all of a sudden when you're trying to make this shift and you say, oh no, I can't go out Saturday morning because I got to be up early Sunday to do this thing that I'm doing. Your friends might start thinking like, oh, you're such a dud, oh, you want to like work all the time. um, so you have to kind of sacrifice stuff, and you have to be willing to say, oh no, I can't do that because I'm doing this thing that's important to me. Like even if it's not like making money kind of stuff. I think sometimes we feel like, oh, if that's not for work, if I'm not actually making monetary gains from this thing that I'm doing, then I can sacrifice it and go do these other things. But if we have that notion of like, oh, I want to be an artist, I want to do something creative, and we sacrifice our time in the studio, then we're not showing up. And we talked about that before, but you have to have that support of your family and your friends because they can either purposefully or accidentally infringe on some of those things that we were trying to set into place. So, having that, and also, having a community, having friends that are artists who are going through the same thing, that you can support each other. Or if you're trying to get healthy, I mean, think about that notion of the gym buddy. Going to the gym with somebody because you keep each other motivated. So thinking of it that way. So in-person community, that's really vital for support, vital for helping you stay motivated, helping you stay focused. That's definitely important. And I also think about that kind of online community. And nowadays, it's so easy to have that online community. I mean, we can have our social media, we can have, online things through Zoom and other platforms where we can actually see each other and connect with each other. We can follow our favorite artists. We can, talk to folks halfway around the world. We can see things that we never could before. I always, whenever I teach this high school summer program, I always tell them, I said, back in my day when I was in high school, that was pre-internet. So if I wanted to see art, if I wanted to see what was happening, I would have to like go to a book or go to the library and get a book. And I wouldn't see like fresh new artists. I mean, these books would be old books, and they would just be from art history books, artists that were long dead, mostly dead white guys. But nowadays, it's like we have access to billions of images and billions of artists, and we can really pick and choose those people, even if we don't know them. We can follow them on social media. So, having that as a source of inspiration, having that as a source of motivation, again, we can follow people that we're like, oh, I want to be like them, and we can figure out what did they do. I mean, that's what this is all about. This is what this whole series is about, is me watching some of those people saying, oh, what do they do? How can I do that too? So that community. And I think about like, well, I'm sharing this video is going out to my community. So people that follow me, however many that is, a handful of you out there that watch these videos, you're part of my community, and I appreciate that. So having that support, having that ability to put things out there, and having that community. So one of the things that I always think about is like, we do have those friends, those family members that help support us. But then I also think about like, we also have like peers, people that we feel like we're on the same level with. Like, so these might be fellow artists. If we're artists, these might be, the fellow gym mates or the people that we see at the gym. You think about like, oh, there's those people that are super fit, super athletic, and it's like they are sort of like one group, and then there's like a group of other folks that are just kind of getting into it. So we have kind of our peers, those people, those of us that are kind of, we feel like we're kind of at the same level. And then I feel like we have like mentors. So there are folks that are further along in whatever journey it is. So it could be a personal trainer, it could be, the chef that you're taking classes with. It could really be anybody that you feel is like a little bit further ahead of you, and you turn to them for advice. And these could be in person mentors, people that you actually know in your life, or it could be online. It could just be folks like, hey, look, I watch their videos, or I see their Instagram. Um, that's part of our community too. So it's not just our peers; it's also those folks that are further along that we look up to, that we look to as sort of mentors. They're helping show us the way. It's like they've gone this journey, and we're following along. So anyway, that's what I want you to think about. Think about your community. Who do you have in your life? Who's close in your life in person that is going to offer support, that's going to offer you motivation? Do you have peers, other folks that you can get together with, that you can share your experience with, that you can help motivate each other to keep each other going, especially through those hard times? I mean, I've I've been a member of a gym where it's like, I stopped going because I don't have anybody to kind of say, hey, let's go to the gym today. So it's hard to stay motivated if I don't have somebody to help me. So, find those folks. If you can't find them in person, think about virtually. Who are you following? Who do you admire online? But then also finding folks that are out there doing the thing that you want to do, and listening to them and listening to their advice. So, if you're listening to my advice, awesome. I mean, I feel very blessed. I'm very grateful for that. And I just feel like I'm trying to figure this out, and I just want to share it with you, my community. So think about your community and all the folks that support you, but then sometimes you have to think about, well, these are people that aren't supporting what I'm doing. These are people that are upset because I'm trying to do these things. So, you quickly figure that out too. But anyway, just kind of figure out who your community is, who's supporting you, who's motivating you, who's helping you along in this journey. And, I'd love to hear about some of those folks, some of those people in your community that are doing those things for you. So anyway, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you being part of my community. If you're not part of my community, you can always hit subscribe to stay on top of the videos that I release. You can check me out on social media. You can share and like the videos and the content that I make. So I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate you being part of my community. And until next time, happy creating.